Robert, great to have a chance to speak with you, especially because of what is going on as we speak. Because literally, as we speak, in about a week and week and a couple of days, you are going to be part of a group of people who are part of something that is considered literally Canada's biggest music night. And it's because of something that you are helping with the industry that I love so much. What are you part of, my friend? And I can say this right off the top. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much. It has been a wonderful couple of weeks, and I guess around a month now since it kind of came out that I and as well as four other people from across the country have been nominated for the Music Teacher of the Year through Caris, and it's going to be the big award ceremony is the Junos Awards, which very excited and honored to be a part of.
Yeah, you got a long flight, my friend, because you're going literally from one side of Canada to the other side. Are you ready for that?
Oh, absolutely. I'm very much looking forward to all of the festivities and the fact that it's in Vancouver. I've been to Vancouver a few times and really love that city. And it's also springtime in Vancouver, I believe. So
Yeah.
leaving Newfoundland, which it's a little cooler here until the summertime. So I get to experience some springtime over in Vancouver. And it's just great to be able to get together with these other music educators who are very passionate as well, and spend the weekend kind of celebrating music education in our country and being together and getting to go to all of the events and getting to go to the awards. My wife and I are headed west and leaving the kids back at home with the grandparents, and we're looking forward to a great time.
So let's talk about this category for people who may not know. What is this category about?
Well, the Music Teacher of the Year is presented by Caris, which is an organization that really promotes and advocates for music education. And so every year there's people nominate a music educator, and in my case, I was nominated by a lady named Miss Crona Brophy, who, when I first started teaching 20 years ago, she was my supervisor for my internship. And she's kind of followed my career throughout the past 20 years. And she sent me a text message just before, I guess, well, maybe before Christmas at some point, and she said, "Hey, just to let you know, I think I'm going to nominate you for the Juno for Music Teacher of the Year." And I was like, "What?" Like this. It was a really exciting time, and so basically, it really celebrates music teachers and the passion that we have and the advocacy that we have, and all that we do, I guess, to kind of promote music within our schools and give children that real love of music. And when you look at the nominees this year and every year, you get to read through all of the wonderful things that people are doing, and it's inspiring to see. All the great things that teachers get to do for their children and their students, and how much the students appreciate it.
Now, I've been doing this for years. So one of my favorite questions to ask a nominee is, how did you find out?
Oh. Well, I was in class and I felt my phone kind of going off my pocket, which is very rare because nobody ever calls me when I'm at school, and so I was like, this is strange. So I opened up the phone, went outside and went inside the door, and it was someone from the Juno Awards from Caris who said, "Hey, just to let you know, you have been made it to the top five." Which was like, I was speechless. I was beyond, honored to find out that information. Then I had to hold on to it and keep it a secret for a long time, like weeks and weeks and weeks. I wasn't allowed to tell anybody. And then the day that it was released to the public, the principal announced it to our school, and the students found out. A couple of students found out before everybody else, and we had a rehearsal that afternoon. And then they came in and they were like, "Can we tell? Can we tell?" And I said, "No, no, no. We have rehearsal. We have to get through this rehearsal. I don't want it to be distracted." So at the end, they were like, "Can we please tell?" So I let them tell the rest of the group. And then everyone was cheering. I left that rehearsal and went to another rehearsal for an out of school group, which a lot of the kids who are in my school are also in that at Chalaway, which is a youth choir here in the city. And surprise to me, they just came in, they marched on in the rehearsal room, and then they made up this little song for me that was like, you know, Mr. Colbourne nominated for a Juno, and it was like a chant. It was a lot of fun. I also teach at a university. I teach a university course, and my students surprised me. One of the students got up to lead a rehearsal, and I thought it was just normal, like, okay, this is what they're supposed to do. And then they had a whole song made up, a jazz tune made up about Mr. Colburn, the nominee, and it was really fun.
I love that. That's why it's my favorite question. I always love hearing those stories too. You look so young, man, to be saying that you've been doing this for 20 years. I'll say that right off the top. The love of teaching, how did that all come together? And talk about too, if you can, please, because when I was younger, I for about 10 years I was in the band. Trumpet, trombone, baritone were my instruments. And I know what being in music did for me. Can you talk a little bit about that and what teaching does for you personally and for the students?
hmm Well, I grew up in a small town and started taking music lessons from a very young age. I was probably 6 or 7. I started taking piano lessons and voice lessons. And very much, I had a lot of really wonderful music teachers that kind of inspired me throughout my private music teachers as well as my school music teachers. And, I kind of like to highlight one of my school teachers, which was Miss Ann Whalen, who was my teacher in elementary school. And then she kind of moved on to the high school as I got older. So I had her for most of my time. And I used to watch her conducting the choir, and I would like go home and practice like pretending to conduct in the choir, and I wanted to be what she was doing. And so for me there was never like anything else that I wanted to do. And I say to some of my students who say to me like, I don't really know what I want to do, and I said that's okay. Like, and then they asked me, did you ever, not know what you wanted to do? And the answer is like, no, this was it. This was what I've always wanted to do ever since I was really young, as I wanted to be a music teacher. And I find it very rewarding. The most rewarding thing I find with teaching music is maybe not even so much the music itself that you're teaching, but it's the group. It's group music making. So in a choir, in a band, in any kind of an ensemble, because the ability for everyone to be in one room and to take that collective big breath and then beautiful sounds. Every single person has a role to play in that group. And, yes, musically, I love to teach all of the music theory that goes along with it, as well as, the structure of music and history of music. But really what I love to teach are the things like the confidence that people can get out of performing music, and the ability to work together and for a common goal, and to see students grow from being shy and timid to really someone who has the ability to walk into a meeting if they're a business person when they get older, and they take that with them. And so that's what I get out of. I really get out of teaching, seeing students grow, and also seeing them do things that are going to go outside of their comfort zone, as well as seeing kids who maybe not even go on to do music. Like, a lot of my students don't continue a music career, but they always have music with them for the rest of their lives right here. And I love when students come back to see me and they come to visit. And ever since I've been nominated for this award, I've gotten so many Facebook messages and Instagram messages from people who I've taught, and some of them like their names have changed because they've gotten married and all of that. And I'm like, who I am trying to place where I taught them, and they're saying, "Congratulations, Mr. Colburn! Like, it means so much what you when we were in school doing music and doing singing in choir and playing in the band was such an important part of our lives that we'll always hold dear." So that's what I really get out of this profession, teaching.
There's something else that's important too because of what you receive if you win. Can you talk a little bit about that, please? Because that's something about giving back as well.
Absolutely. So I mean, it's a great prize for winning. There are a couple of things that you get. First of all, the school gets a grant to help purchase instruments, and I've been very fortunate to use this MusiCounts Band-Aid grant that I've had several schools that I've taught at. I've used that grant to purchase instruments for the school. So the winning person gets that. So there's also a cash prize for the winner. There's also, I believe, like they do a mini documentary about the school and kind of highlights the school. But I had to be honest with you. Like people say, "Oh, I hope you win" and all that, and I honestly mean this. Like to me, being nominated for this award, the nomination itself was such a huge honor that, like, to me, I've won. I've already won. I've received, to get this recognition, but not just for me to get this recognition, but to see the reactions of my students who are so happy that their school is being like, oh, Mr. Colbourne, are they going to say Holy Heart, I wonder, on the Junos? Like, they're really into the whole thing. They're going to have watch parties for the Juno night. Like they're organizing little watch events for themselves. And to see them, like yesterday, I had my tux picked out, and they wanted to know what I was going to wear, and they were like, "Can you show us your tux?" And like they're just so excited about it. And they also really want me to meet Michael Bublé, who's the host of this year's Junos. So I said I'm going to do everything I can to get a picture with Michael Bublé so we can put it up in our choral room and have a picture of your choir director and Michael Bublé.
Okay, so let me throw some things out for you. I've known Michael for years. I would say there's like 9 out of 10 chance you're going to get that picture. So don't worry about
Amazing.
that. Michael
Okay.
is such a friendly guy, and they will make the time for you to get that picture. Two, if the kids are going to be watching on the Saturday of the dinner when the announcement is going to be made for the teacher of the year, they're going to be able to see that and everything else. And third, if you do win, which my fingers are crossed, on the broadcast, they will mention your name and the school too. So there you go. You
There
got
you
three
go.
chances for all that
There you go.
these things that you want to see happen will happen.
Well,
So
I believe in putting it out there to the world, putting it out there and see what
there you
happens.
go.
So yeah, but
I,
it's been a lot of fun. So I'm really just obviously you can see the smile on my face. It's been great.
I mean, I know you're saying you're having fun and everything else, but the question I really want to ask is, how does it feel being a rock star for at least a week or so?
So let me tell you a little story now. Of course, when I knew I had this interview coming up with you, I looked, was researching a little bit about what your interview style was going to be and just kind of, taking a look. And when I saw all of the people that you have had the chance to talk with, I was speaking with some staff members today, and I was like, "Do you know who this guy has interviewed? He's interviewed this person and this person, and now they've interviewed Robert Colbourne." So, well, I'm having fun with the whole rock star, but it's really weird because as a performer and as a musician, we do this thing, you get accolades, and you take it in. As a teacher, I never do any of the things that I do it for my classroom for someone to say, "Hey, you're a rock star." Never. It's always about how can I elevate these kids? How can I get them up in the public eye so that they feel great about themselves and they get to experience, what it's like to be a musician. And I've kind of had my time at that. But I will say, like, I'm going to be really honest with you now, it does feel kind of cool. It's been
Yes,
great, especially seeing how much they're reacting to it. So
I love that. And that's what it's all about, really, for me, too. The other advice I want to give you, too, you said you're going with your wife. She walking the red carpet with you? Which of my fingers she's walking? Okay. Take as many pictures as possible.
okay, we will.
Like, even if it's the littlest thing, trust me, because 5 and 10 years from now, when you look back at this, it's just going to be an amazing. Put it all in a photo album or whatever else, but take
And
as many pictures as possible. When I say photo album, I literally mean not
literally a
digital, which could
photo.
be
No.
lost. Take
Hmm.
as many photos and whatever that you can put in and you can look back on it, because you are going to have one of the greatest experiences that you're ever going to have in your life. And say hello to as many celebrities as you can and take pictures with them too, because it truly is a great experience. I'm so happy for
Well,
you.
we're really looking forward to it. And I'll just tell you, before we were married, when we were just dating way back, well, probably 18 years ago or so, the Junos were held in St. John's, and we
Yes.
went to the red carpet. and we stood out at the little line watching like the celebrities come in, and now we joke, oh wow, now we're going to be on the other side of the fence. So
It's a great experience to be there, man. Great experience. Last question. Has the Junos put up on the digital billboards? They've been doing this in every city. Have you seen if they put up your picture yet as a not teacher nominee?
I haven't seen that yet. I mean,
Keep
it's
looking
been
around.
all over their website, but I haven't seen a digital board. But there's another person there's a couple of people from St. John's who are nominated, and one of them is a good friend of mine, Deanna Edmonds, and she's going to be at the Junos, and we're taking in a couple of events with her. And her she had a big billboard up, so that was really we're really happy to see her. So we know that they're here, so we'll see. If I ever get to see one, I'll definitely take a my students call them Colbourne selfies because I'm all the time taking selfies with my really long arms, and so I'll definitely take a selfie of me on the big billboard.
Fantastic. Look, congratulations. Have a blast. Have so much fun. Forget about sleeping. Just go out there, enjoy yourself. Congratulations to your students. And like I said, just please, 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 for the next week and a half, have the greatest experience in your life. Congratulations.
Well, thank you so much, and it means a lot, and I appreciate you taking the time to have a chat today.